How are we doing, Robust family? Look, before this show starts, which I know you're going to enjoy, can I ask you just to do me a small favor? I need all of you to give a robust smash to that like and subscribe button. Why? Because it helps us a lot. We want to get this material out there, and it makes sure that you do not miss a breakfast show beat on this Liberty Radio YouTube channel. All right, guys, do it right now, and I'll see you in the show. That's right, guys. We're gonna have a good day. It's gonna be a good day. You know it's gonna be a good day. That's why we're rocking up in here. I'm your host, Robert Ashite, your robust presenter, and I'm gonna be with you from now until the hours of 10 o'clock this morning, because you know how we do here on your breakfast show. And guess what? Trust me, man, I came rolling up in this place, man, behind schedule, but holding down the fort from 8 o'clock this morning when breakfast show kicks off. It's the one and only, the lady of the sound, the lady of the hour from the Tower of Power. If you know LL Cool J, then you know. Yeah, Cat Sabrina. All right. I just want to say a huge good morning to one and only Kathleen. Good morning, Kathleen.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, Superpower. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
My gosh, I see like in your rhymes, I see that music like Kathleen. All right. All right, good morning, Kathleen. You ready to rock this morning?
Yeah.
I see you've been putting on some nice tracks while our listeners were on standby, ready to kick a day with us. Yep. Fantastico. And also joining us in the studio this morning, we have the one, the only, the lady who knows how to bring ya, if you know how to sing ya, the lady with the bars, and you know she doesn't come last. It's the one and the only Sabrina, and because she ain't no ant. She's Sabrina Durant. Okay, there we go. Good morning, Sabrina.
Good morning.
How you doing, Superpower?
I'm good, thank you.
I don't know. Every time you come on the scene, I just feel like Devontae, Lavon, Aaron, John.
Oh my gosh.
Devance, Natural.
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
All right, you ready for today as well, right?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Booyah
Yeah.
shaka. And also joining us in the studios this morning, this guy he's been in our galaxy, our spectrum, our solar system and universe for time. And I'm telling you, the way he's been resisting a breakfast show been like a crime. But I'm telling you, he finally makes it, and he's just here on time. It's the one, it's the only, don't tell me, don't doubt him. It's the one and only Mr. Alton. Good morning, Alton. Good morning, Alton.
Hello, bro.
How you doing, brother?
I'm good.
Let me ask you, are you a morning person?
I'm actually not.
I'm not. I can feel the sensation of, okay, we're doing this. I can sense it. Well, it's great to have you finally with us on the show, my man.
Thank you.
All right, and today, as you know, it's Relationship Power Thursday here on the Breakfast Show, where we look at having good relationships with ourselves, those around us, and romantic relationships. And today's theme is going to be about, have you got that picture, Kat? Pink and blue. Today's theme, the actual theme that we're going to have today, is going to be about gender roles. Gender roles. That's right. Last week's love talk. You was there last week, Sabrina.
Yeah.
And it banged. Yeah.
Yeah.
It banged. And it's like simple things, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
it needs to be talked about.
Exactly.
Because the culture's going against simple, common sense things. Were you
Yeah.
there last week as well? Oh, fun. You're gonna love it today.
Yeah, I watched it.
You watched
Yeah,
it?
it was my first time watching it.
Easy.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. My guy. So look, it's going down today, and this is really important because you could be sitting there, you could be a person of faith, a woman of faith, but the current culture has probably gone into your brain, and it won't only show up until you get someone put a ring on your finger, or you put a ring on some lady's finger. Trust me, this is going to be such an important subject today, and you don't want to miss it. I just want to quickly just say a huge good morning to our breakfast show faithfuls today. Oh my gosh, it's kicked off. Yes. Oh boy.
You're very
okay.
late.
Yeah, I know, Kat. Thank you. All right, just want to say good morning to Ursula. She's saying good morning, BFS, and everyone. I hope you all have a beautiful and abundant, blessed day. We have Pauline saying good morning, breakfast family, and all the listeners. The sun is shining. Have a blessed day. God is wherever you are in this world. Yeah. Gillette says good morning, breakfast show staff. Mr. Robert, have a great Thursday and all the blessings from above to all of us. Olivia says good morning. Good morning, Olivia. She's a newcomer here on the breakfast show. Pauline, God is with you. Thank you. David says, good morning, BSF. Hope everyone has a blessed day. Mercy from Cardiff is in the house. One of our breakfast show faithfuls. Say morning, BSF. All right. Neo over in Botswana says, good morning, Breakfast Show fam. May you have a blessed day. Elliot over in the Netherlands says, good morning, BSF. And everyone, may God bless you all. TGPCK says, good morning, all. Chanel from Kilburn, good morning. Rafila is here. Ursula's here saying, love this song. You see, Kat, you dropping the tracks.
Yeah.
Pamela says, top of the morning, Breakfast Show family. It's a robust Thursday. Yes, we do. That's how we do, Pamela. Anonymous ending 513 says, good morning, Breakfast Show, and all have a lovely and blessed day from Dominic and Kyla in Hackney. Awesome sources becoming. You guys are becoming. They're becoming, Kat. Bassett Sana's with us this morning saying, good morning, you Breakfast Show faithful you. Bassett Sana says, yeah, you can never go wrong with called up music. Absolutely. And we've got song requests in there from Elia. Ursula says, another song request. Song requests are popping out today, isn't it? They know what to do.
Yeah.
They know what to do. What's that doorbell noise?
Correct.
Oh, correct. Oh, nice. I love that one. Okay, I was wondering. I thought somebody was at the door. I was like, okay, fine. All right. Diana from Boomley says, good morning, Breakfast Show family. Have an amazing day. Basta Sana says, oh, Anterina Cato, you roll. I'm just making my tongue do backflips. I'm going to talk. Only remedy for a big op is God. Big God, Ursula. That's this. So they're enjoying the music. Tavira's is here. Sinead is here. Oh, gosh. Therese, UTF soldier. I don't know if she's still around. Say, good morning, sir. According to UTF, it's the spirit, good and faithful. All right, guys. So, look. Let's change things up a notch. We're going to go into, you may have already been inspired earlier this morning at 6:30, but now we're going to continue with our John Challenge here on The Breakfast Show. 21-day John Challenge with Renato Cordasso. Let's take it down a notch. Let's go in day number 11. Woo. All right, guys, so it's day 11, anger instead of sadness. All right, so you would have already read or will meditate on the book of John, chapter 11. The headings are the death of Lazarus. Oof, tough. I am the resurrection and the life. Jesus and death, the last enemy. Lazarus raised from the dead, and also the plot to kill Jesus. It's just hotting up in these chapters, Kat? Literally every time, 1 minute Jesus the troublemaker, then it's like the insults of Jesus, and then it's like the plot to kill Jesus. It's just, I don't know if like you guys have been following this. It's just escalating in the book of John big time, and I think it's the first time I've actually really paid attention to the escalation that's taking place in the chapters. We got a comment here. We got Bishop's words here, and he's saying like this: Jesus used the sickness and death of Lazarus to show his authority over both. Note Jesus' deliberate delay to answer the call of Martha and Mary to come and help their sick brother. Sometimes we don't understand why our prayers take so long to be answered. We aren't answered the way we want, but those who trust in God's wisdom and greater plan always receive the best answer. I think you touched on this on Tuesday, Sabrina. You know, when we had Effie here, and we were talking about how sometimes things don't go the way we want, or things don't happen when we want, right? Yeah. And it looks like it's going to touch in that stuff today, isn't it?
Yeah. Powerful.
And this is something that Jesus did on purpose, right? He could have left to go and help Lazarus straight away, but he waited. And every time I see that chapter, I'm like, wow.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Because it's almost like it's like a test to see how much you believe and how much you trust in his words. It's a bit like what Mr. F.A. was saying when he said, trust in the character of God. Yeah, that word stood out to me a lot. Yeah,
and you know, even before we go into what Bishop's saying, here's the interesting thing, right? That they had faith to believe that he could be healed. Because he'd done it so many times already. So they had faith for that. That wasn't supernatural faith for them now, because they'd seen it so many times. So it's like Jesus is like, let's stretch it a bit further. Let's take him out the boat. All right, let's see what else Bishop says.
Not talk about that. Yes. They didn't trust that after he was dead, like it was over.
Yeah.
They didn't think that Jesus could help him after that.
Exactly. So we're coming into that now. Let's have a look at that. Here we go. So Jesus Jesus had an odd reaction in verse 33 and 38 when he was faced with the death of Lazarus, his sisters and the Jews that were weeping. It says that Jesus groaned in the spirit and was troubled. The original Greek uses a very strong word to describe what he was feeling, enebrimasato, meaning strongly reprimand, be upset, or be angry in the spirit. We normally expect people to feel sad when they hear that a loved one has passed away, but Jesus was upset, angry, troubled about the whole thing. Why? Some of the reasons were the sisters' unbelief, despite the fact that he had told them that if they believed, they'd see the glory of God. You know, when Jesus speaks to you, you just doing the opposite. Wow. Then it continues, the emotional reaction of everyone. They were weeping, helpless before death. They were before the author of life and didn't know it. The other reason was the comments of the Jews who questioned whether Jesus really loved Lazarus, for he had done nothing for him. Oh my gosh. Then the anger he felt when he saw the fallen, weak, and powerless state of people in the face of an illness and death, both of which were consequences of sin. That's true. You can imagine Jesus having a flashback in his mind of when Eve ate that fruit. And he's like, look, here we are. Anyway, Jesus had an odd reaction in verse 33 and 38 when he was faced with the death. This is why, moved by holy anger, Jesus went forward with vehement conviction to raise Lazarus, showing his supremacy over death. Of course, this is all a great lesson for us now. We too must be angry in the spirit against unbelief and sentimentality that weaken us, against doubts about God, and also against sin, which kills us little by little, and in the end throws us into hell. We must fully believe in the author of life and overcome it all. Even today, there's no solution for death and for many diseases that afflict humanity. But as Jesus himself said, I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me, though he may die, he shall live. And whoever lives and believes in me shall never die. Do you believe this? That's the question. Do you believe? Then receive life now, there where you are as you read this. This is really, really powerful. I'm actually seeing this in a completely different way this morning, because sometimes we see Jesus wept as in an emotional weeping just about Lazarus, but there was so many different things that were going on simultaneously. So you had the people's doubt, the people not believing when Jesus said him, the limitation of people's belief. So that means they didn't understand that he ruled over death yet. Mm-hmm. They only saw him like, okay, as a healer. He's a miracle worker. He's from God. He's a miracle worker. But they didn't understand his authority over death itself. Mm-hmm. So, and then you had the emotional situation, and this is where we have to be cautious, because sometimes we can take the emotional side a bit too, especially us guys when we're in the faith, like no emotion, right? And we can kind of neglect what's actually happening here. But in that problem, Jesus had to switch it around and bring faith, you know, and only when, and it's like, I think Jesus was upset because Jesus obviously knew, God knows what the future is going to be. Mm-hmm. But I think just in that moment, being in the human body, you know, he actually had all those kind of sensations happening all at once, even though he knew what he was going to do. Yeah. This is really, really powerful. And I think this also, you know, Jesus was about to show his glory. He knew what he was going to do. But many times, sometimes we're in something like the 21 days. And guess what? Our emotions can get in the way as well. Mm-hmm. Our emotions, our anxiety. And it's like, people, we can forget, wait, isn't Jesus like the author of life? Doesn't he want me? We forget that he wants us to have the Holy Spirit. Mm-hmm. You know, we get caught up in anxiety and all these different things, which becomes like that rock in front of Lazarus' tomb. And it's like, God is like telling us, like, just get that stuff out of the way. Just believe in my character. Sabrina.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much like God allows the situation to happen.
Yeah.
And then we need to use our faith to get out of those emotions.
Exactly. We need to use, so it's a decision mode. Yeah. It's a decision mode. So guys, he's asking us, do we believe? Do we allow emotions or situations to get in the way? Is the Holy Spirit, which is behind what we want, the miracle we need, behind a big block wall of feelings, worried about the circumstances, worried about what people think about us, worried about how people see us, all these boulders in the way. Jesus is like, come on, stop with this thing. Yeah, let's believe in God's character for sure. He's calling us to remove that out of the way because he wants us to receive his presence in this 21 days. All right, so do you believe? I choose to believe. What about you?
I do.
You do?
I do.
Let's go. All right, guys. So that was John. That was day 11. Tomorrow we'll continue with John, day number 12. Tomorrow we're going to be having a replay Friday. Yeah. I'll see if I can record something. But other than that, we've got Be Inspired in the morning. So definitely you'll drop it like it's hot. All right, guys, let's keep doing this thing. This is your breakfast show. We've got some comments here. I love that, Jesus, that whole Lazarus thing was to extend the faith of the people. It's to, do you get what I mean?
To break that barrier.
Yeah.
Like you trust me until this point. I'm much more than that.
I'm much more than that. That's beautiful. It's beautiful. We have Jeanette's in the house saying, good morning, BFS. We have Teray. She's still here. Nice one, soldier. Where's your brother? Where's Mark? Where's the rest of the soldiers? All right, but well done for making it. Shane, the Romeo is here.
Oh my gosh.
He's here. Shane. Shane. He's here.
Did it connect this week or this is the first time you connected? Did it connect this week?
Shane. First time I see him this week,
Oh, yeah, no, he was here on Tuesday.
He's here on Tuesday. Didn't say nothing. He just like, that's my babes. Well said, my babes. Representing. Oh yeah. Gosh. It's lovely. It's lovely. Shane, good morning to you and his breakfast show family. John is here saying, good morning, everyone. Jean, I don't know, we've got so many Jeans, John. I'd love to know where you're from. Great. Ursula from Finsbury Park says, Lazarus being dead made the miracle even sweeter. Absolutely, Ursula. Drop it like it's hot. Guys, we're going to go for a very short time out. When we come back, we're going to go into elements of the love therapy from last week, because I know some of you got to go to work and we don't want any of you to miss the nuggets. We've also got a few TikTok shocks here today. Obviously, we're having a few technicals going on and we're working our way around stuff this morning. But look, I just want to show you the image that we have, the picture. If you use the one from the Breakfast Show broadcast, that picture, if you, oh gosh, it's quite dark, isn't it? Oh, that's beautiful. So basically, honoring and respecting roles, thank you, Kat, in a relationship. All right, that's what we're looking at. That's the theme of today. It's 2024. So many things have got confused in ways that we never thought was even possible in the past, even in the Stone Age, even in the eras like, when science and technology had not evolved. We're having so many confusions in basic things, especially when it comes to relationship and love life. Would you agree, Alton?
Sorry?
Yeah, like we've got so many crazy things happening, like so much confusion when it comes to relationships and all that kind of stuff in 2024.
No one knows. They're hearing so many information from all these podcasts and everything. Yeah. Everyone is so lost now.
It's crazy. Yeah. Everyone's crazy. Kat, do you have one of the videos that I could just flip on there and show to them? Like just one of them that we might have got.
See.
Okay. Oh, what about that guy in the car? Let's do the one, the guy in the car. Actually, no, do the Avengers one. That's it. Yeah. So basically, this is what's actually happened now in 2024 when it comes to the differences between men and women. Literally, men and women have been pitted against one another. Literally, and it's quite crazy. I don't know. I believe you've seen it, Sabrina, isn't it?
I don't know.
You don't know? No, not this. But I mean, like in terms of like the culture, the modern culture. Do you know what I mean? Because like, it's crazy. But have a look at this video. This is basically what the gender war debate looks like on social media every day. Check this out.
Avengers! Assemble.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness.
All over the place.
Yeah. Literally. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's what we're in. That's what we're in. What'd you bring to the table? What do you mean what I bring to the table? Take out the trash. Why should I take out the trash? I'm a dude. I'm with the same now. Why should I take out the trash?
Independent woman.
I'm an independent woman. I do what I want when I want. You don't tell me what. You're not the boss of me. So there's a whole conversation and it's crazy. So we're going to go for a timeout. Want you to enjoy some good music as we get into this today. Isabel from Manchester. Good morning, Isabel. Great to have you with us. Saying good morning, bom dia. Good morning, everyone. Thank you. Thank you very much, Isabel. Great to have you with us. Guys, Let's get this show on the road. What song you got first, Kat?
We have Day by Day by Called Out Music.
Day by Day by Called Out Music.
Suggested by, let me see. Who was it?
Who was it just suggesting? Because she suggested.
Elliot.
Elliot suggested. My guy in the Netherlands, man. That's how we roast Elliot. This is the dude. He's the guy.
Yes.
It's Elliot. My man. We're right back after this. Hey guys, we're gonna have a good day. That's the mantra of the show. If you've just joined us, we just recently had the 21-day John Challenge. To my right, we have the one and only Sabrina Durant. Oh yes, she's here. Oh yes, she's ready. We shall also have joining us for the first time, the one and only Ailton joining us this morning. And also, guess what? There's somebody at the, I don't know, because this.
Oh, yes.
There's somebody at the door. There's somebody at the door. It's the one and only Dr. Shad who's arrived and he's walking through like he's just been fishing. And like literally, he's set. He's set for the day. All right. So guys, what we're gonna do? We've got here some comments here. And we have Batsat Sana saying Called Out Music. Pamela says kindness is free and it changes everything. Absolutely. So look, we're looking at the theme today of gender roles. All right, gender roles. Kat, you got the question I sent over to you. Yeah, we're looking at the theme today of gender roles. That's what we're looking at today, and it's a beautiful thing. All right, and obviously there's a lot of confusion, and I've got a video to show you right now, just to kind of bring it a bit home. What men expect from women, what women think men expect from them in 2024, and what men expect from women and what women expect from men, right?
Yeah.
Just to show you, there's a bit of a, can I use the word, Dr. Shad, this is a good word, dichotomy. You don't know. All right, no worries. It's there in my memory bank somewhere.
Something split between two?
Dichotomy? Yeah, something along those lines.
Means two, cotomy is what? Separation?
It's just in my head, like, it just felt like I just throw that
It's
one
probably
out there.
right.
It's probably
Yeah,
right.
it's
Yeah,
probably
it's
right.
right. Yeah. But, so anyway, that's what's going on. But have a look at this video, guys. I mean, how would you feel in this situation? Please let us know in the live chat. Check it out.
Okay.
Actually, need to add
some
cacao on this.
This is a self-serve station. Dang it. Do you mind asking them to put $20 on pump one?
Sure.
Oh, wait. No gender roles, remember? I am not letting you pay.
Paying for gas for your own car. How modern of you.
It's the least I can do.
Wait, are you gonna pump the gas?
No, you can.
Because...
What?
Why am I gonna pump the gas?
You want me to pump the gas?
No, I don't mind doing it. I was just asking, you know, and even if you didn't ask, I would have offered and insisted. Because I'm...
Yep, see the situation. So it's like, yep, guess what? Gender roles, here, pay for that. So we've got the whole boss babe, independent woman type thing. You don't have to pay for it, I'll pay for it, right? But then it comes, okay, so what? So you're going to pump the gas too? And then as soon as that comes back, she doesn't know what's going on. She's like, I mean, what do you see happening in that situation, Sabrina? What do you see happening there? Yeah. So she's like, gender roles, here you go, I'll pay for it. And he goes,
yeah. So she was picking and choosing what it is that she wanted
Yeah.
to do, basically. Yeah.
that's interesting,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That, I mean, like,
Is that when it suits you?
Double standards.
Yeah, when it suits
Double
you, that's
standards.
when it doesn't, then it.
Then
Yeah.
you just do something
Yeah.
different. And there's always that conflict of interest because we've got how we're wired and then we've got what is actually happening, how reality is actually happening. Like, for example, I don't know, we got a question that we're going to throw out there for today, all right? And I'm actually going to put it on the Breath Show broadcast, all right? If you're not on the Breath Show broadcast yet, definitely... please, feel free to say, look, add me to the Breath Show broadcast so you never miss your Breath Show beat. What's the number, Kat?
It is +44 75 79 79 6845.
All right. So we're asking the question. What's the question, Dr. Shad?
Should women take out the trash? Should men pay for the first date? Or question 1, sorry. Should women take out the trash? Question 2. Should men pay for the first date? Question 3. What do you think about a stay-at-home husband and the working woman? Or the working wife, I would assume.
Yeah, the working wife. All right, so guys, share your thoughts on that. All right, we're asking that question today. There's 3 separate questions. We're going to be listening to it throughout as we go through the morning. All right, and as we listen to these elements from Bishop, we sent it through to the Breakfast Show broadcast line as well. So I think it's going down today. What do you think about like women taking out the trash regularly, Sabrina? Because like you represent the ladies here.
Oh yes, well I do it all the time anyway.
Oh
so.
yes.
Yeah.
So what about for example, you got husband and now you're a wife and everything like that. So would you still be in the zone to take out the trash all the time?
Yeah, I think it's just a chore, isn't it? Like to help out. So.
Do you know why? Because I don't know why, but it seems like women taking out the trash, like it's like there's it's a social construct, I think, where it's like men have to take it out.
Oh.
Like it's like
it's a result from American TV shows.
TV shows.
Only ever see it in
Wait, isn't it
American
more
TV
to do with
shows.
danger? Like,
No.
for example, outside the home you're safe. If something needed to be done, inside the home you're safe. If something needed to be taken out, I would assume it would be the man, because the outside is more discomfort than the inside, right?
That makes sense.
Yeah, I guess so.
So the man would want to put himself in a position of discomfort rather than the wife. I would assume.
I think that makes sense.
Think
to
about
be
a
honest
winter's
with you.
night. Would we want
Yeah.
our wives to go out
Yeah.
and take? No.
If you heard there was a noise downstairs and you're worried that it's a burglar, who's going?
Sabrina.
Currently Sabrina.
Currently,
But
yeah.
when you get married,
It will be.
the gentleman, right? Would you tolerate?
Oh,
fuck.
look, there we go.
Here we go. There's somebody at the door. All right.
There's somebody at the phone.
There's somebody at the phone. I mean, like, if there's some, maybe I should have switched the question around, not use the trash, because because when you're single, it's a bit easier to kind of answer that one. But taking out the trash, I mean, do you think that as a dude, it would be your role to do that? Or do you think like, no, man, she go do it herself, man? All right, let me just.
No, if we're both in the house and she wants the trash to take out,
Yeah.
there's no issue, there's no problem.
Okay. What about you, Dr. Shad?
No, I'll do it.
Yeah, but like, do you think it should be a thing like, no, this is my role, please don't disturb it?
No, I mean, I think it depends on how you separate, or if you separate chores. Because I imagine there's a time and place thing. But if the trash gets taken out weekly, so for where I live, it gets taken out weekly, so the night before you take it out.
Yeah.
And so I think, I would just do it. Because
Yeah.
it's just a routine, isn't it? Like before you take off your shoes, you take off the trash.
Okay, and if there was a burglar,
Then you go down, isn't it?
she'll go down.
No, you go down. The guy goes down.
Okay.
I thought that would be, because I don't know about you guys, but being masculine helps the woman to be more feminine.
That's
no?
right.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah,
I don't want
yeah.
to. I don't want to sound like I'm forcing women to be
Yep,
feminine.
yep,
but
yep, yep.
when you take on the masculine role, and let's be honest, I think men enjoy a feminine woman, right?
That's it.
Imagine.
So there are points, if I can put it for.
You know, but here, look how the spin has happened, where now women, which is great, accelerated in the workplace, right? But because of this boss babe ideas, they need to have that particular role, otherwise they are not as powerful, right? And Bishop's going to go into it right now, where as our roles are, where our power actually is in the way God designed us. Janet from Nottingham says, "Good morning, Jordan. Do you have any song requests for today?"
Jordan.
I must be in the live chat. They were talking. Yeah. All right. Jade from Wolverhampton says, "Good morning, all." And BSF. Pamela says, "Dr. Shad, it's very, very early." Jordan says, "Nah, I'm good, miss." Okay. But hi, Breakfast Show. Good morning to you, Jordan. You're awesome. Ursula says, dichotomy is the right word.
See, I knew it. I could
Did you
feel
see
it.
Feel it. Just
Yeah.
like, you know.
Did you see
just-
Janet's last comment?
Yeah, I'm just getting there. Janet says, with gender roles, it has to start somewhere. So it starts by her paying for her own gas. Eventually, she will pump her own gas too. Evolution. You know what I mean? And then when the burglar comes, I heard a noise. Okay, see you later, babe.
I mean, yeah.
Evolution. Angel, we got Angel. Someone called Angel on the scene. Says on the scene says, "I feel like it's okay for both genders to take the trash out. Whoever gets the trash first, I suppose." Lots of love.
No, I don't think a guy ever
Yeah.
wants to be in a position where his wife.
Okay,
can't.
this is what I want to
Yeah.
get to.
You don't want to be in that place, man.
One example, like when I'm in my mom's house,
Yeah.
my mom has like this.
Hey, there's somebody at the door.
Oh
There's somebody at the door. It's the one and only Iron Will. Good
We
morning,
need to make
Iron
that
Will.
into a sound effect now, isn't it?
I'm telling you, it's like
Somebody
that.
at the door.
All right, please get your mic. Settle yourself in. Sorry.
So yeah, in the house, my mom has created this communication where, like, when it's trash day, like the day before, she set out the trash like at the door. So when the man, like me, my dad, or whoever was there goes by, they know that they need to pick it up and put it outside.
Okay. So no one forgets.
So it's communication.
It's communication. So it's one of the guys that are doing it.
Yeah.
So she takes it from wherever it is, packages it up, and goes up to the, like kind of what Dr. Shadow saying, up to the door to leave it at the door. Sagrado. And then she walks, and then she leaves it, and the guys are like, "Oh, it's that time."
Of course, when you get kids, then you know.
You use the kids in it.
Yeah. All right, beautiful. So there's differences here in the roles. We're seeing it here in day-to-day life, day-to-day living, but sometimes we don't know what the roles are. Angel says, hey, breakfast show. Good morning. Also, Dion's in the house. He says, morning BSF, drop it like it's hot, Shad. Lovely. All right, guys, so we're going to go into our first part from Bishop. From last week's Love Talk. If you are not familiar with the Love Talk, guess what? We have it every evening here, 8 p.m. here in the Rainbow Theatre. Ain't that right, Sabrina?
Yes, that is right.
Yes, it's a powerful nuggets. We only show you segments of it on the breakfast show, but there's a whole heap going on in the evening. But anyway, let's see part one. Hey, just a quick interruption. I know you're enjoying the show, but don't forget, if you haven't already, robustly smash the like and subscribe button. Do it now! Do it now!
The key to being valued is to know and understand yourself and your partner. And this may seem, difficult, not difficult to understand, but for example, a married person who's been married for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, they may say, Bishop, of course I know my partner. But we're not talking about you knowing your partner's favorite color, your partner's favorite dish, because that doesn't mean that you know them. When it comes to relationships, people don't really know the partner and they don't know themselves. And God, He knows us so well that when He created man, the Bible says that God knew that man needed a helper. And that helper was the woman. So here we see, Elena, would you mind coming to join me here? Here we see that God knew that man needed a woman. Not just any woman, but the Bible called this woman a helper. So when you marry a person of God, that person, the man, the woman becomes the helper, and the man becomes, the one who represents God in the house, not because she worships Him, but because he has a role to fulfill. So when a person, sometimes you say, I know my partner, but do you really know them? For example, do you know what your partner needs? Do you know what makes your partner angry, upset, sad? Do you know what their plans are? Do you know what your partner, for example, needs from you? This is very important. Knowing your partner is knowing what your partner needs from you.
Knowing your partner is knowing what your partner needs from you. This is completely, and I think about it when I look at Genesis and look at the King James Version, it says, and Adam knew Eve, right? It uses that particular terminology, right? But it's like, you know the person better than anyone. And so from what I'm getting from Bishop today, it's like when we decide to choose someone to put a ring on their finger, we get to know them in dating to make sure they're a suitable partner, but it goes beyond that to know the depths. Our life journey is to know the person, is to develop with the person. You know what I mean? That is part of the mission of life, right? So, but the thing is, in 2024, the mission of life is you be the boss, babe, get 6 figures, and you're done. Or, man, work on being more feminine.
The arrow of life.
We need to go back to the arrow of life, right? Oh gosh, I wish we had that. Hopefully
that's what that's what we're talking about, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It's so it seems like society's literally reversed it on purpose, eh, Alton?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. I think we're going in the wrong direction. We need to go back into the actual principles that God has set for us.
Yeah. I mean, how do you feel about the lifelong journey of knowing a woman? Because you're a single guy, right?
It's that camera right here. That one.
Yeah, I don't want to look at that.
All right.
Bro, come on, man. We're trying to help it.
And imagine the perspective is not just to acquire a wife, right? Or not just to acquire a good wife, but on your part is to know her very well. You know, I mean, how does that make you feel? Does it sound like it's hard work, or does it sound like another new adventure?
Yeah, the adventure is actually something that I'm looking forward to getting to know that person in the values of God and everything in the correct way, in the correct order. And yeah.
I mean, Sabrina, usually women are known to be quite emotional, right?
Yes.
And I mean, and every woman's different. For example, like my wife, she's not very emotional per se. She doesn't have the traits that I hear about. She doesn't seem too clingy or anything like that, or like any sign of anything like that. But maybe it could be due to culture. But the idea of wanting to know a man, do you think that's something natural for a woman? And it kind of probably comes out differently.
I think, yeah, it is. Yeah, natural. I mean, I only can speak for myself. But yeah, I think my mind's a bit blank right now, but yeah.
Sorry, what do you mean by no? Because I thought like
getting to know, right?
But those attributes, I don't think have anything to do with to know, right? I don't know.
So when we say, because Bishop said like this, he made it very clear.
Yeah.
You know that we have the generals. People don't know themselves, firstly, and then you have a thing of I've acquired this person to know all about them, to know the trajectory that they want to go on in their life, to know where our next stop is, you know, where we're going to know what they like, right? Because imagine, usually most relationships nowadays are very self-centered. It's like, okay, how can this person please me, right? But it's a case of, because of the fear of the offer of love, it's like, I want to know what she needs, what makes her happy. Do you know what I mean? What excites her in terms of living, in terms of not just intimate life, but like in terms of living day-to-day life, you know, to know and follow her on their journey and their interests even. You know what I mean? So so I know men sometimes they don't like to have those type of conversations. Generally speaking, we can be a bit superficial, but women can probably try to do that, but they don't know how to communicate it well, and they probably might sound a bit clingy. You know?
Yeah. So I think obviously with women, I think that's what it is as well. It's that communication. It's like, oh, he should know, he should know how to, you know, make me feel or treat me or whatever.
I hate that so
I know.
But I think it's just in society, isn't it? Like it's what we hear, what we listen to, what we watch.
Do you think so?
I think that might have a effect on.
Yeah, they say that the guy should know, like you should be in tune with the woman.
Yeah, but those are all single women that say that.
Yeah.
That's one thing.
No.
Nah, man. I don't, because I hate.
It's not only single women.
Robert, have you ever got that message? Look, I think you know, like you should have known. And I'm like, and I literally, no, I don't. It didn't say anything.
It's not just.
What am I meant to know?
It's not just. I guarantee you, and I tell you this with all confidence.
I'm so sorry. I feel like you've been through war.
It's like, dude, 22 years, bro. Each of the 22 years is 12 months, 31 days. That's a leap year, 28.
I think it's because as well, like with women, I think we're a bit more in tune with.
Yeah.
So we observe things and we see things. So obviously, when I don't know, like we look at our partner, if they say they're okay, we will sense no.
Yeah,
there's
but I
something
think,
wrong.
wait,
Like,
men do that as well, right?
Men, we do that. I mean, we're observant, but maybe we think,
there's like a limit.
Yeah, you'd be alright. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's where the lack of emotion is, isn't it?
You're strong. Yeah.
Yeah. It's okay. I think with women, we're a bit more like in tune. We have something more. Like I think that's a gift that the Lord has given to us to be a bit more in tune. So we kind of expect men to be the same.
Yeah.
But sometimes they're very just like, you say, "Oh, are you okay? Are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay." But deep down, they're not okay.
Yeah.
But you should know that I'm not
right.
okay.
That's right.
But,
That's right.
But then if you
Men are
try
very
to fix
simple.
the problem, it's not good enough.
And then the
You're not
dichotomy
listening.
begins.
The dichotomy.
The dichotomy has started.
Yeah.
Like I'm very like black and white. Like if I have a problem, I will say something. If I don't have a problem, I'm not gonna say anything. And if I ask you, is there a problem? You tell me nothing. Okay.
You're gonna
thank
be
you.
like, okay, yeah.
But I think also guys kind of like play down problems.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Maybe they don't want to deal with it.
Maybe we don't want to deal with it, or because we think like, I'll just keep moving. Do you get what I
I
mean?
think guys are bigger picture.
Yeah.
Where it, like, if that makes sense. So,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
example,
yeah.
you can fracture, or like, let's say you injured a part of your body, and in your mind, like in a month or two, you'll get over it.
Yeah.
Whereas, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but a woman would be like, but it's going to affect your daily life. It might get worse. Do you know what I mean? I think
Might get infected.
It's like we think and
not in
think
a bad,
and
but not in
think.
a bad way.
yeah.
Like that has its place.
But
you know
in
what I
terms
mean?
of care, isn't it? It's more in
Yeah.
terms of care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I think men, we're not so worried about care. We're worried about getting things done.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, oh no, we wouldn't be, I'm offended. We'd just be like, just keep it moving. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, you're a modern guy. I am Will. What are your thoughts?
Cool. So I wanted a moment to soak all that in and hear what everyone's saying. And I felt like emotional intelligence varies from individual to individual. And to me, it wasn't so much more where you couldn't say, oh, it's that a high level of intelligence is probably, I assume, not that I studied, but I assume it's more common amongst women than it is amongst men. That they're more emotionally in tune with body language and people's expressions. But I do also feel like it probably an even bigger factor is probably depending on how people were raised, because I imagine if you were raised in a household where people didn't really check up on one another, and not just your parents but maybe siblings or other outside family members, people didn't really check up on one another, people didn't really create a space where you could talk about if you felt happy about something, why you felt happy, if you felt sad about something, why you felt sad. So I feel like if you grow up in that environment, you're not really in a good stead to sort of gauge that amongst other people. So least of all the person that you're probably dating or married to, let alone people that you might be friends with, because I feel like I myself, I've seen decent emotional intelligence from a variety of people, and I don't feel like sex really differentiated too much. I wouldn't say maybe it was 50-50, but it wasn't like the standout factors like, oh, mostly women in my life could notice if something was wrong or blah blah blah. I just felt like it was kind of people who you could tell they had that thing about them, just depending on things that they talk about. So I just think it varies more from individual to individual rather than groups of people.
Here's a question. Do you think the fact that, because for example, our generation, right, pretty much, we were like baby boomers, right? They're the ones that literally had like more children, right? And what's it called? We had lots of children, boys, growing up without their parents, without both of their parents. I grew up without my dad. So do you guys think that maybe that could have played a role as well? Because they're only getting one side of the impact. For example, I know Ezekiel watches my body language. He watches my expressions. He watches the details of what I say. He does that. So does Kaya. But they're fortunate to have both sides of the story. But the majority of us grew up with only one side, So do you think that may probably, like what what I'm Will saying, is probably made men a bit more sentimental, more affectionate, if you know what I mean, Sabrina?
Yeah, I think so, to be honest. Like, I agree with what you said as well. Like, I think, naturally women may be more emotional or whatever. But of course, like, depending on the environment that you've been brought up in, if you just live with your dad, obviously, naturally your dad is a bit more like
robust.
You fall over, you hurt yourself, get up, shake it off. Whereas the mum will be like, oh, let me see, and you'll tend to,
You got plaster. Now, when I see my wife doing that with my son, I'm like,
stop it.
stand up, boy.
So I think that's what it is as well. Like I think it's that, you know.
Yeah, and it would be because it just depends on what you're exposed to. Cause, my mum is someone who is like mothering is like her personality, like to the core. So I used to think, oh, this is just your parenting technique. I get older, I was like, oh no, you do it to people who are the same age as you as well. So that means I was getting overexposed with stuff like that, and even stuff like now where. My other work, if I get like a burn or a cut or something like that, what shattered actually resonate with me. It'll happen to me. I won't scream or yell, even if it's a bit painful, just like it'll heal, this and that. If my mom sees it, I know I can't even show because she's just gonna chew my ear off about, oh, how did you do that to yourself? Oh, you need to apply this and that. It's like, oh, it's not that deep. But it's not even that I'm right or wrong for thinking it, or that my mom's right or wrong for thinking. It's just exposure to people's personalities.
All right. We've got some comments here in our live chat. It's really kicking off. We've got Janet. Okay, here we go. All right. Janet says, it's a lifelong journey. It's not a sprint. And it's worthwhile. The more you know each other, the more you can give to me and the more you see from each other. And then more happier is your life. Absolutely. Jade from Wolverhampton says, I'm sorry, but how many seminars, talks and tips will it take for men to have care and empathy towards their spouse? Oh, wow. Okay. Or women to stop thinking men can read their mood and behavior. Ooh, it's coming out now. And also, we did pose a question earlier on. We're about to go into the second part of Bishop's comments from last week. And we have some strong answers here from Pamela in Botswana. We asked question 1, what should women take out the trash? And she responded, I think it's important for partners to share household responsibilities in a way that feels fair to them. So if a woman wants to take out the trash, then she should be able to do so without feeling like it's a gender task. And if a man wants to take out the trash, then that should be respected as well. In other words, household chores should not be gender specific. Instead, they should be based on what works best for each individual relationship. All right, and that's about chores, right? That's about chores. Okay. I think that there's some, depending on who you are, between the genders, those that are better at certain things than others, I think. Question number 2, should men pay for the first date? She says, it's a common thing that men should pay for the first date. But again, I think this is a matter of personal preference. I personally feel that a man should pay on our first date as a sign of chivalry or respect. And I'll pay or we'll split the bill on our second date. How do you feel about that, Alton?
It's like Bishop always says, instead of fighting who's going to pay the bill, instead of fighting who's not going to pay the bill, fight for who's going to pay the bill. So, like, for example, I would always want to pay, but if she offers to pay, first of all, she's not going to pay, but it would want me to do more. Like, I would want her to do more. Like, if she just offered, I'm not saying that she needs to pay. No.
Yeah.
Like, instead of fighting who's not going to pay, fight for who's going to pay.
That's beautiful. So you have to meet a like-minded lady then, right? You have to meet because you're like that, but she looking at you like.
Well, in what sense?
Like she looking at you she looking at you like, hurry up then.
Oh,
you know what I mean? So so in her mind, she's like, you must pay.
That would put me off.
That would put me off.
But it's also important to remember the current economy. Because, for example, I think it's easy for us guys to say things like that when you're well, like financially speaking. But if you go, for example, let's say a good meal costs about £30 to £40. So you're paying about £60 to £80 a day. So that's about nearly close. And that's not the only thing you're going to be spending when you take a go out. So you're looking at spending about £100 minimum, or on average a week. Just on take, that's £400 a month. That's close to what, 1,000 every 2 months. That's 6,000 a year.
I'm going to a different restaurant.
But you get no. What I'm trying to say is because I've heard a lot of. I think it's important to, and I think if I'm really honest with you, and I thank God for this, but especially in the church, we've really found women that are very very understanding. And of course, I personally believe that a guy should put himself in a financial position to be able to handle those responsibilities, because it's nice. But at the same time, if you're young, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. We got question number 3 from Pamela. She says, so we asked, what do you think about stay-at-home husband and the woman working? She says, my opinion is that as long as we are happy and feel respected in the relationship, the specifics of who does what don't really matter. It's all about finding a balance that works for us as a couple. As long as we feel like our contributions are valued and appreciated. If he stays at home, he needs at least to at least contribute. That's what counts.
If you want to be in the home,
But
you gotta
Yeah.
help the home.
yeah, what is he doing in the home though?
He's
Just-
cleaning, make sure the house is looked after.
And then that's it.
That's it.
Oh no. Just at home. But if there's kids, for example, that he's looking at.
Have you got a stay-at-home dad video that I put up? I think I linked it to it on the thing. All right, here we go. Yeah, let's go to that one with the guy holding the baby. No, actually, no, go to the Boss Babe one. Check this out, and then we'll show Bishop's material. All right, so what's he doing at home? Check this out.
Would you clean and do all the laundry?
Why?
Would you cook and treat me like a king?
No.
Or would you rather pursue a career?
Yeah, of course.
You want to trade?
Yes.
Yes, please, happily.
Okay.
Oh, I would do everything you need if you pay our bills tonight. I'll do all the dishes, baby. I'll throw all the trash away.
That is supposed to be your job anyway.
I'll massage your feet for hours.
Well, aren't you supposed to like it?
I'll be a stay-at-home husband today. I'll cook all your favorite dishes. Always treat you like a queen. Listen to you complain forever. Be a stay-at-home husband all day. If you would you?
Oh man.
You pay your bills today.
Today, what do you think? What do you think about Sabrina?
Oh, it's funny.
He's got vocals, huh?
I know. Yeah.
I couldn't believe it was him.
Yeah. But yeah, go on.
Yeah, so I mean, like, that's what it means.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I don't know.
I don't know. We got some comments here. I don't know if Shad following it.
Yep.
Yep. What's next one? I think it's from Jeanette. Is it?
So Jeanette says, "I think a man should only pay for a meal if it feels like it's going to work. If there's going to be a part 2 second day or a second date, I believe. Other than that, pay your own way and go back."
But you wouldn't know, really, would you?
You wouldn't know on the first.
No, and I
second.
still think out of courtesy.
Yeah.
It's just it's when it's just a nice thing to do.
Yeah.
And I think and I also think it's like you shouldn't go to a place that's too far out of your reach.
Yeah.
You should be
Exactly.
comfortable, and the guy should be comfortable saying, "Hey, even if this isn't going to work, thank you very much for your time.
Yeah.
Pay and then walk off." Like it's
Yeah.
just a
It's a courtesy. Yeah.
yeah, it's just a
You don't
gentleman.
need to do anything too
Yeah.
expensive or
Chivalry.
extravagant.
I believe you can do both. I believe you can go in there thinking I'm not, it's not like a job interview. It's not. I'm not going to pay depending on how nice of a time I've had. But you should be gauging the entire time that you're there if a second date is going to happen. Because if I'm being honest, it's very likely from the other side that the person's gauging if there's going to be a second date or not. So you shouldn't be left sort of flat-footed.
Okay.
But I
Alright.
do think in a really extenuating circumstances, and I don't mind if people disagree, but if someone is being really disrespectful to you on the day, or they're really behaving absurdly, maybe like rude to a waiter, or they're doing things like when the check comes and then they say, "Oh, I just need to run to the bathroom," like really small things like that, where even if I was planning to pay anyway, the fact that you did that,
No
I'm
transparency.
not looking at you the same way I was
Yeah.
5 minutes ago.
It's a tough one, huh? 2024. All right, guys.
What kind of people do you meet?
No, I'm gonna say it's just all these movies I see, like literally.
Yeah. Okay.
Because you see a lot of date scenes in movies, to be fair, and all kinds of varieties of people.
We got a comment from Patience if he's watching. She says, "Oh, Rob, where are you getting all these from?" All right. Anonymous anything too. That was from the video. Saying, "Arrest that man." Bassett Senna says, What? Wow, that went south fast. Yeah. All right. Let's go to the next part with number 2. Bishop, take it away.
God said that he made the woman as a suitable helper. And when you don't know who you are, you see things that God created in you as a weakness. God made the woman as a suitable helper. And we are different. So God made the woman, for example, as a meek being. But in the world, if a woman is meek, is that seen as a strength or a weakness? But the woman being meek means she's more sensitive. I don't mean sensitive as a person who gets hurt, but sensitive to what is happening. And this is important because because they are not meek and sensitive, and we shouldn't be. But that's why we need a woman. Because if we don't have that with us, we miss out on important things. You want to see? A man is so oblivious of things around him that if a woman in the world is hitting on him, not hitting, you know what I mean, yes or no?
Yes, they do.
Flirting with him, the man doesn't know what's happening. But the woman knows. Women.
10,000 miles away.
Do you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know, Elena is not jealous or possessive or anything like that. But sometimes she says, that woman was overly friendly. There was something going on there. I said, really? I thought she was just being friendly. Women, for example, are more in touch with the needs of the family sometimes. Sometimes the lady is upset. The husband says, are you okay? And she says, yes, I'm fine. And he says, okay. Clearly she's not fine. But the man is the opposite. The man may say, I'm fine. But she knows. Because this sensitivity is a gift. A gift given by whom? By God. But if you don't know yourself, you see this as a weakness.
Ooh, the differences between a man and a woman. You touched on it earlier, Sabrina.
Yeah.
Women see things that men don't. And can I be honest with you? Like, even I remember when I was dating and I was getting married, I understood that I could be overly spiritual. I could be overly, you know, and there were characteristics I saw in my wife that would kind of balance me out. You know, there's some things that I probably thought I would probably see really one way in a very rigid way, but she would come with something that's a bit more normal. You know, and I saw that as a plus. I intentionally saw that as a plus, you know, even until today. But some of the things Bishop said. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, that means I was listening when I was in the service.
He was paying attention.
Yes.
But is it true that being a woman, you see things that men don't?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's like what I said earlier. Yeah, we're a bit more sensitive, a bit more in tune, so we can see things from a mile away. Yeah. So
doesn't that feel like feel a bit more safe for you, I Am Will, knowing that women have a different perception of things than what us guys do?
Yeah, for sure. Because I feel like someone that who's your partner, and that it goes without saying that should be someone that you trust. So you know, it's like what we talk about with being a leader in a relationship. It's not about having things your own way and you know that your word goes. I feel like your life partner should quite literally be your partner in a sense, almost like your right hand.
Yeah, you got each other's back.
Like you trust your. I know it's a bit of a weird analogy, but it's kind of like you wouldn't go to do something with your opposite hand before your sort of main hand, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So you know, and you don't even have to think about it. Like anything I gotta do, you know, I just use my dominant hand, and that should kind of be the same in a relationship where when your partner sort of makes an observation, you should just be like, oh wow, like you just believe it. You know, you just trust that person wholeheartedly that they would have your back and that they have the right intentions when they're pointing things out.
Beautiful. But men generally don't see it that way, right? I think what it is, from what I'm seeing here, is that we have extremes, right? Human beings don't have a balance. We've got secular reasoning telling us different things. We've got our own insecurities that are telling us different things. And if we move away from God, we don't know where the middle ground is. So you have over emotional women having that natural intuition, but voicing it in a very destructive way, and men are like, yeah, and also we're being a bit like, oh, you're emotional, man. So we're swinging to one side with being unsensitive. Would you agree, Alton?
Yeah, because nowadays I feel like the roles are being reversed. So like, because of the man are becoming more emotional, the women have to become more masculine.
Yeah.
So it's like there's a lot of relationships that break up, and many single mothers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because man are not being man, and because man are not being man, the women are kind of like becoming like the man, like becoming more masculine.
Macho.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I mean, your thoughts on what Bishop was saying, Dr. Shad. So in terms of the strengths and of the men and women, how we've been designed to actually complement each other.
Well, I think something important that he said is that men should be like that, because at the end of the day, I think from a more classical point of view, men go out and face the challenges of the world. So you don't really have time to be too sensitive. Like if you're making a decision, like a business decision.
That's right.
For example, one of the things I know is that you have to be willing to fire people very quickly.
That's me.
So you have to be willing to fire people very quickly.
Yeah.
Now, if you have a very sensitive, empathetic, and very like emotional attachment to everyone, you're going to struggle to do that, and then you're going to end up with a very bad business with a very bad team.
True. You know, I was watching Genesis on Univer.
Oh, yes.
And, you know, there's a bit where Adam was created as form. He's got that smile and that stare going on. And, you know...
everyone knows.
Everyone knows that, right? And, you know, there's a bit where he's manhandling Eve. And she's like, oh! He goes, oh, you're different. He's like, yeah? Is that a bad thing? No, it's good. It's good. And God is like, she's your strength, but she's not strong like you, you know. And that's just it. That's just it. There are the ways that men are and the ways that women are, and they complement each other. Jeanette says maybe the first date should not be a meal, but maybe a coffee where you can sit and chat and then decide whether it's something that can work and what you want to invest in.
That's what we call talking in the church. So before you so before you've gone out on the first date, that would have already been done for anyone who
that's
does,
a good one. That's a good one. That's
we
a
do
good
that
one.
anyway.
I like that. Actually says I agree. Coffee for the first date is good. Yep. We did pose a question about before we go to the next part about basically should women take out the trash, and not James, sorry. This is Olivia O'Connor over in Luton saying I hate taking the bin out, so no. Number 2, should men pay for the first date? And she says I'm not too bothered who pays. I think if you get the first one, I will get the next. Okay, let's see how that works in practice though, because there's a lot of, you know what I mean, communication, unsaid words happening, do you know what I mean? So okay, she says number 3, what do you think about a stay-at-home husband? I wouldn't want my husband to stay at home because I'd feel like I'm doing most of the work, especially because I like the housework to be done a certain way, so I will probably end up doing both the work and cooking and cleaning. Sabrina's like, yes sir, yes sir. All right, we've got a comment here from Isabel, a Manchester, says about women taking out the trash. Yes is no, I on there is no I in team. Yeah. So two, she says, yes, he's the provider. He needs to show that he is ready to take care of me. So he needs to pay for the first date. Number 3, depends on circumstances. I don't tolerate laziness when it talks about a man being a stay-at-home husband. So she's like, this guy, nah, he's not. He has to be out there doing something, not just me. Sandra Alume. I'm going to say this one.
When you said her name, I said, should you have read the name?
I'm going to save this. I'm just seeing lots of 100%. All right, so let's go to the second part with Bishop. This is third part, right? Yeah. Take it away.
So the world pits women against men and men against women because women don't know themselves. They want to be something that they were not created for. And men the same. It's the same thing. So then there is this problem. There's a crossing of roles because the man wants to do the role of the woman wants to do the role of the man. No one knows where they are. They see, for example, let's talk about the man for a little bit, because the world sees the femininity, the meekness of the woman as a weakness. And now there is this term people use in the world called toxic masculinity. And of course, there is such a thing as toxic masculinity, but sometimes things get labeled as this when it's not. The toxic masculinity is a man trying to, to be firm, to convicted of his decisions. But because they don't know the other person, they don't know themselves, there is this problem.
Because they don't know themselves. When something is given, I used to say this in VYG, that until something is given a name, it doesn't really exist. Until something is written down on paper, it doesn't really exist. And this idea of you got boss babe and you got toxic masculinity. Doesn't it seem intentional?
Do you know what the irony is? Like, what would you guys define as traits of toxic masculinity? Watch this. Go on, try.
I'm so literally washed by.
I've heard about this.
So basically, toxic masculinity is the same as toxic femininity. Toxic behavior is just toxic behavior.
That's right.
You wouldn't want anyone to be aggressive. You don't want anyone to be a bully. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's just.
But you see, it's the way, until something's given a name, it doesn't exist. Toxic. There is no toxic femininity in the social.
Because they don't want it to exist.
Yeah, they don't want it to exist.
The reality is, it's just.
Exactly.
You're just toxic.
Toxic masculine. And everyone sees what is masculine to be toxic. Is it on purpose? Right? We're in the Father's house, and maybe we're buying into some of this rhetoric. Rhetoric is another one I was in the day somewhere. You were buying into it, right? You was touching on something quite interesting, Elton.
This role reversal thing, like. Because the men are not being men, and they think of
men in what sense?
Men in their character. Like, for example, a man should be a man of one woman based on the Bible, right?
Yeah.
Because the men want to be like sleeping with all these women.
Yes.
So they don't want to pay. So that's I believe that's where that came from. Like, they don't want to pay because if they pay, they expect the women to kind of like give up the goods in one sense.
Yeah. So they want everything for free. They want everything easy. They don't want responsibility, because I think being a man is having responsibility. Exactly. Right. That's
accountability.
Accountability.
You just gotta enjoy it.
Say again.
You have to enjoy have to enjoy to have responsibility to.
Absolutely. Kat, there's actually a video clip here that I put. I think of a guy. He's got like a Western hat, like he's a cowboy type hat. Was it?
It's on the Telegram.
Yeah, it's on the Telegram. It's just above the question. Yeah. All right. So it's quite interesting that you would say that. So men. Part of being a male, I believe, is to have responsibility. Do you agree with that, guys?
Yeah. Sure, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I know women would agree with that, as well as masculine traits, right? And I think this gentleman drops it really nicely. Check this out.
A real man, Brad, a real man is born to serve. Period. And we can't lose that. Masculinity to protect and to serve and to help. But if we spend all of our time isolated in our gym and isolated in our booth at our laptop trying to make money, and isolated in our study, reading The Art of War of Marcus Aurelius and reading all this stuff, and we're by ourselves all the time improving ourselves, then our improvements we can get to the best we can get, and we want it with a net zero.
We can make ourselves better, make ourselves stronger, because we do that. But what's the ultimate goal? The ultimate goal is to serve, right? Like what you were saying, men as children want to be served and want to serve ourselves. But for example, if we're a leader, the decision we make is for the good of everybody around us. The decision we make is for the good of our spouse, it's for the good of the children that we have. We want to make sure they are taken care of. That's like God. He made Eden to supply their needs, right? And then Adam had to take care of that, take care of what was given to them by God. That's winding back to the basics. But what you said is a boy just wants to serve himself with no responsibility, and we have a lot of that. And now they've mixed it up with toxic masculinity for just being a guy. He said, what's it? Masculine to provide, to protect, to serve.
That's deep.
In the Bible where it says, be righteous to your neighbor. In some translations, the word righteous means to protect. So it has a more of a military kind of style description to it.
Love it. Anyone else add anything?
Yeah, I was going to add something actually, but it was just based on women wanting to have that role of masculinity or whatever, like wanting to be in charge kind of thing. And I was just thinking on it, and it was kind of like, it made me think about maybe, obviously it stems from the past, isn't it? Like being a woman was like a bad thing, because if you think about how it was in the past, a woman was like nothing, didn't have any rights to do anything. And so it was like our role was bad. And obviously men was able to go out, they were able to work, they were able to do things. So then women started to feel insecure in that role that they had been given. Whereas before maybe it was like a good thing, like, oh, okay. But then when they wanted to do things like vote, or they wanted to have a say, or they wanted to speak, they were shut down. So then that created a trauma, which then obviously then turned into a rise of, oh, we need to be like strong. We can do what you can do as well.
The suffragettes.
And so, exactly. So it stems from somewhere, isn't it? And then it's like, okay, so then now it's all about women empowerment and independence, and we can do it because they've been told we cannot. Like back then anyway, they were told they cannot. So obviously it's like it was a sense of injustice, isn't it? So obviously it's like, okay, we want to fight back and we want to be like the men.
That's interesting, right? But I think Shad's going to touch on echoed from what you're saying, because Jordan Peterson said something very interesting, that the reason why men could vote is because they had to choose. They were the ones who were getting sent to war, right? So when we start to take it apart, like I'm going to go to war. So I'm going to vote who's going to be making the decisions when I'm out there. You please stay at home and be safe, because we're fighting to protect you. So even in this day and age, they make it sound like it was a bad thing, but it was actually a case of masculine protection. Do you know what I mean? Because men were disposable, you know, because if you're going to war, you're going out there to get killed. And
imagine someone who doesn't have to worry about dying, voting whether or not you have to wait that you go.
Do you know what I mean?
There's a unsettling kind of.
It's worrying. I can see why they'd be like, nah, man, just come on now. It's my life for the life. We got. I think that there's. I don't know if he was able to get one of those other videos. The one with Candice Owens. Okay, wait. What's that one with the lady? Okay. And what's that middle? What's that one on the far right there? On the far right. Okay, no, that's all right. I think. What's that? What was that one? Why mate? And what's that video? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, and that one's that. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, no, we'll do that.
This is just Robert's thoughts being said out loud, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm just processing. Okay, because we're just trying to get all our images together. But okay, anyway, it sounds beautiful. It sounds strong. We got a comment here from Sandra Lumen. She says, when we asked about should women take out the trash, she said, not all the time. But if they can, yes, just as men can wash up too at times. 2, should men pay for the first date? She says, 100%. Drop that guy if he doesn't pay on the first date. Why did he ask you out if he didn't have enough funds to pay for the first date?
I'm glad that was mentioned.
Absolutely not. Go get a job first, mate. If you can't afford the first date, get your finances in order, because you won't be able to afford a woman.
Do you want, can I teach you guys a trick? So you know when you open not a trick, but something that to kind of see it another way. So you know when you open the door for someone, you're telling them to walk through the door. So you put yourself in the position of authority. When you take a girl out, you are the one leading. When you pay for the date, you are the one in charge. So if you don't pay for the date, you're not in charge.
But here you go. Imagine if the lady's mind's mixed up, and she's like, you're meant to do it anyway, and it's that kind of.
If I hear that, bye.
Yeah, I know you're like careful, man. My salvation.
I'm just saying.
If I see any of those signs, bro, I'm out.
Because I think that's more of a sign of It's not even it's way bigger than the date itself. It's just more what I'm gonna get into if I'm in a relationship with this person.
You guys sound like you're about to not like. Remember that we have a talking phase before that. You know what I mean? And I think the purpose of like what we have, like love talk and love therapy and all these things, is so that we don't even end up on the first date with someone that's like that. That's the truth. I think sometimes we should remember the perspective of where we're coming from.
But
the reality
also,
is.
Do you hear what Bishop's example about is the person before?
So when they get to
when you're in your feelings, like sometimes it's hard to make those decisions.
It's true. But then that's when you kind of have to just because at the same time you're also going to be making just as many mistakes.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's something. Another thing to remember is there will just be as many red flags on your side.
Yeah, exactly.
See, and this is why love talk is important, keeping us all sober. You know. Number 3 about a stay-at-home man. She says, I honestly don't think it's in a man's nature to not be a stay-at-home husband. But my manager and American is the working wife, and her husband is a stay-at-home husband. It works for them, so I guess it works for some. Please keep my name anonymous.
But you didn't.
Should have led with that one, sis.
Wait. I said at the beginning, Robert, do you not want to read the message?
All right. Oh,
that was the toothache, by the way.
Okay. You see, Jeanette led with that one, so that's all right. Okay, good. All right, so we got something in the live chat. What we got in the live chat, Dr. Shat?
On the live chat, what we have is 6 new comments.
Yeah.
So, also was Green. Jade says they're exactly talking first. Basically, they're disagreeing with the idea of talking. Jade also says if a man asks a lady out on a meal, he should pay, and that's her opinion, which is, I think we all agree. Lorraine is saying hi, and she's agreeing. And then Jenna at the bottom says, I was thinking that too, Sabrina. Because of the time in history when women didn't have the vote.
I hear.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I can also understand, because I know that after World War II, I think it was, the women actually started helping out in the military by factory workers. And I can understand how at a certain point of time you don't feel like you can speak, and so there should be a balance. But I think one of the things about the gender thing is, in countries where they've made a massive effort to make it all as balanced as possible, women still go for the jobs where they're looking after people, men still go for the jobs where they're fixing problems or things.
Yeah.
Like the differences don't change.
Yeah.
So it's clear that it's something that's innate.
Absolutely. All right, we're coming to the final piece now. We've still got an audio piece from Bassett Sana over in Botswana, so we're going to save it for when we come back. Yep. Well, this is number 4. So this is number 4 now. This is the final one. Okay, cool. Drop it like it's hot, cat.
Look how interesting. Some people, when they get married, for example, they see that the husband or the wife, doesn't matter, when something happens, it gets them in a bad mood. This is why it's important for you to know the person who's with you. And then they say, Bishop, I didn't know that this person was like this before I got married. And now we're having problems because, he's supposed to be a man of God, Bishop. And sometimes he's in a bad mood, or she is supposed to be a woman of God. Sometimes she's in a bad mood, blah, blah, blah. You can do that. Or you can say, no, I know that she's in a bad mood. Something happened. So because I know this, what will I do? I'm not going to push her buttons. I know when she's in a bad mood, she needs her space. Because people, we may have the Holy Spirit, but we're human. Did you know you're human? Are you sure? Because sometimes
we don't have wings yet.
Sometimes people speak like the other one should be perfect. So getting to know the other person is this.
Yeah. It's called respect, especially, from a perspective of a wife. When you hear about the wife has to respect her husband, is understanding what are his buttons. Maybe for you it's nothing. Why is he upset about that? But for him it's important, and it's a lack of respect. So you need to know and don't do it.
So it's like anything, right? You have a phone. Hopefully it's switched off right now. But you have a phone. If your phone is 5 years old, it works, but you know the limitations of your phone. You know what it can do, what it can't do. If it's newer, you know what it can and what it can't do. And relationships are like this. We did not get married. You don't get married so that you have a person who's perfect next to you. The person has limitations, has shortcomings. And when you decide to get to know that person, you help them. You don't point fingers, you don't criticize them. You know that, okay, does this person need help with their temper? Sure. But until then, you need to know that if something happens, the person needs space. And you can say, Bishop, but if he is of God, if she is of God, he has to change. Sure. But if you've been a certain way for a long time, you're not going to change overnight. You need to be patient. So because you know that person, you say, okay, I know that this is not a good time. So you know that your husband, if he has a bad day at work, he's upset, he needs space. You know, if your wife, something happens in the family that makes her sad. And instead of you demanding something, she needs understanding in that moment. This is what it means to know the person who is with you. The Word of God says like this: it is the glory of God to conceal a matter, but the glory of kings is to search out what? A matter. Do you know why? Because kings made decisions that were life or death. And a king couldn't rule on a matter without knowing everything. So he had to know everything. And in love life, in relationships, it's like this.
That is so powerful. It's the glory of kings to search out a matter. So that means, like he just said, you have to make important decisions. You have to consult things that can either build or destroy a kingdom. But it says the glory of a king is to do that. There are some kings that are very rash. They don't search out a matter. They can go by their feelings, or they're very flippant in their decisions. But the glory of a king is one who searches a thing out. He knows his subjects. He knows who his enemies, his adversaries are. He has an idea of their track history, their thoughts, the needs of their people. That's the glory of a king. He searches things out. God really takes things back to the basics, isn't it? Yeah, Alton, you seem really inspired and like, oh, I love that.
No, I'm just taking it all in.
Yeah. Fantastic. And also, Sabrina. So what Bishop was saying there, what things stood out for you? Lady on the chair of justice.
For me, it was obviously when you have a partner, being able to know that person, like, so understanding what when they're upset, not to, dig or whatever, like, so it's like, once you get to know that person, you won't do things that will make it worse, but you'll help them. So you're a helper, isn't it? So you're helping that person to, if they're having a moment, you let them have their moment, and vice versa. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's care. And here's the interesting thing, especially about being in faith. Like, you can see the person's not okay. And the other person takes it upon themselves to use that to test them. To test them, to test their level of self-control, to test, how, do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, as if they're gods.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
And to be honest with you, when we're very immature in the faith, we can actually do that. We can behave like that. Do you get what I mean? Oh, the person's flip. Oh, yeah, you're in flesh.
Yeah. And it's like, let's stop being so religious. Like, we actually are human beings, just like what Bishop was saying. It's like, we're human, so we have moments where we feel angry. We have moments where we feel sad, and sometimes you just have to let that person be in that moment, but not to stay in that moment, but just to have that moment. Just to
be understanding.
Yeah, exactly.
And like, we're in the 21 days, and that's what the Holy Spirit is for us, right? He measures us on how we are. He doesn't, he convicts us when, like, you're going too far, that's wrong, stop, bring it back, and he measures us when we're having a moment where, things are not going good, we feel unjustly cheated, we feel like God has left us, but he balances us out. Exactly. The Holy Spirit, calms us. If we need assurance, he gives us assurance in that moment. If we need peace in a moment because we're terrified, he brings that peace, and we're like,
comfort and everything. Do
you know what I mean? And so is the relationship between a husband and a wife.
So it kind of balances everything out, so it's not too harsh and rash, like, okay, you're supposed to be in the faith. Stop being sad, stop being angry. It's like, you're not a robot. Like, we weren't created like that, so it's just about having that.
Or take pleasure in the person freaking out and getting angry. Oh, so what are you going to do now to be in the flesh?
Do you know, I think things like that happen out of bitterness, isn't it? Like, I think sometimes you can like someone and really care about them, but still maybe they've done you wrong, or they've done something to hurt you. And if you haven't dealt with that, I think that can come up. I think that was something that I learned from LT that really shocked me, is that you can really care about someone and still feel some level of resentment or something. So
strong.
It's so deep that in the Bible, God compared the women, like the role of a woman, as a helper which is like the other word that they said for the Holy Spirit, the helper.
Yeah.
So compared it to the Holy Spirit, that's how deep a woman's role is in a relationship.
Yeah, because I think even like men, one of our key things is testosterone, right? So that makes us aggressive, right? So imagine if we're designed, testosterone's our thing, right? And obviously now society's trying to put things to make us lose testosterone, right? But generally speaking, I throw that one out there because there's a plan.
Robert is like walking on a very thin line of.
There's a plan, okay. But testosterone, right? And then so imagine women have this caring, nurturing behavior intricately within them, and men are testosterone fueled. But then imagine you want to be a woman who wants to be a boss babe who's like, I don't care what you feel. I go make my 6 figures, you know, up to my... So she being a man now. She don't have testosterone in her body like I do, but then she wants to kind of do that. So what's going to be the outcome?
Well, again, I think this is one of those things where, you know, it's... I wouldn't say it comes from our faith, but it's just that our faith... I think our faith strengthens this part of us. It's that you kind of have to have some sort of intuition there. You know, because I feel like there's a lot of people who, again, as individuals, you know, people's emotional intelligence will vary, but I think some people sometimes they weaponize their own faith against the person that they're in a relationship with. So like when the bishop kept saying it, and to an extent, I kind of thought to myself, he must hear it so often because he said that within 1 minute. He must have mentioned it like 4 times. Like, you know, that but my partner's supposed to be of the faith. It's like it's like you're not the person who gets to judge if someone is of the faith. In that sense, you know, it's God's exclusive responsibility,
and we're supposed to help them. If anything, we're there to help,
and we're not all perfect. It's very easy to spot the faults of others than compared to ourselves, and I'm not outside of that myself. So I feel like, you know, people need to kind of have patience, because obviously, you know, if someone does something extreme, it's not like it's unfair to call it out just because you do your fair share of things. But I think things like, oh, you know, this person's angry, they're supposed to be of the faith. We all have moments when we're angry, and we all have moments where we did things that don't necessarily represent what we want to be like. But yeah, that's why you need to have someone who's going to help you.
Love it. All right, we're going to go into the final part. We've got a message here from Bassett Sana concerning our questions for today, where we ask, let's see what she said, where we ask, should women take out the trash? Here we go. There we go.
Okay, good morning, breakfast show, Jumelang.
Botswana in the house.
My thoughts. Should women take out the trash? Sure, why not? I mean, if it's full, you take it out. I take it out. But at home, it's like a boy's role to take out the trash. So, but if they're not home, I can take it out. But I don't think women should take out the trash.
Okay.
My opinion.
You see, she went deep there.
Should men pay for the first date? No, not necessarily. I think we'll just split the bill. If I want to pay, cool. If he wants to pay, cool. But let's just split the bill.
Guys, don't listen.
Stay home husband. No. Gosh, no. Oh, no. I feel like husbands are supposed to provide.
It's innate.
Anyway, but
it's innate.
Husbands staying home, oh. No.
It's those questions that make you question reality.
Look, if I take you somewhere, I want to cause you the least amount of trouble as possible. If I take you to £1 million restaurant, that is my responsibility, and it is not for you to worry about whether or not you can afford the meal or not.
Okay.
And so that's why men should pay, because it's a case of like, the person didn't even know you were taken to them place. How can you even begin to expect them? Even when you go out with friends, for example, if you say, oh, let's go out for a coffee, in my opinion, if I'm the one asking you to come with me, it's my responsibility to
what
pay.
If a woman asks you out?
Well, fair enough, but even then, even then, I'll try and make the effort if I can.
Okay,
but like, for example, the point I'm trying to make
because
is
she invited you out, so she better cater for it, innit?
No, I
okay, gender roles.
No. There, I would be like, I would just take the opportunity and kind of like,
it's an honor thing,
not just an honor. Like you get to kind of show her that you're a man, isn't it?
That's
so
right. Honor, that's it.
Yeah. So, sorry.
No, because I was gonna say just basically about what you're just saying now. But it's funny how she said, a man shouldn't stay at home because he should provide.
Yeah.
So why can't he provide and pay for
On
the
the first
meal
date.
when you go out on the first date?
Yeah.
So it's like that's a man.
It's conflicting.
Yeah, people pick and
it's
choose.
like
To be
People
fair,
pick
That's what we
and
were saying.
choose.
It's like, yeah,
They
you
pick
can
and
pay
choose
this
when
one.
to be modern, innit?
Yeah.
I'm a good person until you get broke.
We got a comment here from Neo Priscilla over in Botswana. She says, number one about men taking out trash. It will depend on how huge the trash is. When it's the one in the house, that's funny. Yes, when it's the one in the house, yes, a woman should, since it's her responsibility to look after the cleanliness of the house. Traditional lady here, right? Number two, about should a man pay for the first bill? She said the first. Oh yes, you paying for the first one. Number three, should a man be a house husband? It says it can't work. How long home staying from home? No. A man is the head, the provider of the family. As a husband, he has to be the one working out, if not 50-50, unless if he's working there at home. So she's like, nah, ain't rolling like that. All right, we got some questions in live chat, Dr. Shad.
So we have Neo from Botswana saying Botswana in the house, Dumelang.
Hey.
Janet saying I have been in so many situations where people have weaponized my feelings.
Oh.
With the conclusion of only God.
Wow.
Jay then says, if we're to ask a man out, I would offer to pay, but I allow him to pay half if he wanted.
Okay. All right, that sounds beautiful. Kat, have you got that clip of the man standing on the rooftop?
That doesn't sound safe.
It's the one. It's the one just above. Oh gosh. Okay.
Did she say no? Is that why he's on the rooftop?
I know, right? the reality of this life. Okay. Oh gosh, where is it now? The real. Oh, there it is. So like basically, I linked to it. I linked to it from just above the picture. While you download, there's a picture that is at the bottom next to your thumbs up, and and above, just above it, there you go. That's it. All right. So while you do that, I'm going to show a picture of the 10 causes of relationship problems. All right, the 10 causes of relationship problems, and they are. All right, poor communication. Sabrina said that earlier on. Then we got incompatible life goals that comes from, and that's usually from, I don't know if it's men's side, but incompatible life goals. So I think that leads to communication, especially in the dating period. Lack of intimacy. So, wanting to have those deep conversations. Trust issues. So obviously no communication, isn't it? That stems from that. Unresolved past issues, not communicated once again, right? Financial, and also maybe something happened to them as individuals that they haven't communicated. Financial stress. Lack of quality time because everyone gets too busy, and emotional neglect. Wow. Jealousy and insecurity, and power struggles. New thing for the 20th century, really. All right. So those are some of the reasons, but you can see it's linked down to communication and people's roles. Have a look at this. This is something about men. We have a lot about women, about being boss babes and stuff, but look at this thought about men. If women want to be equal, let's see what it looks like for women to be equal. Check this out.
It's okay to be a man.
It's not okay. It's necessary. What the hell are we going to do without men?
Yeah, they say
you
men
look
are
around
trash.
the city here, you see all these buildings go up. These men, they're doing impossible things. They're under the streets, working on the sewers. They're up on the power lines in the storms and the rain. They're keeping this impossible infrastructure functioning. This thing that works in a miraculous manner. They work themselves to death. And often, literally, the gratitude for that is sorely lacking, especially among the people who should be most grateful. You see university professors, especially of the social justice bent, they take everything they have for granted, failing to understand entirely that there's a massive infrastructure of unbelievably hardworking, solidly laboring, working-class men breaking themselves in half on a regular basis, making sure that everything that always breaks works.
Do you really want men to be feminine and women to be doing those roles? Like Sabrina said, there's a lot of picking and choosing going on. And we need to go back to the author of love to say, like, how did he make me? Shad said that, I think it was Scandinavia, Jordan Peterson gave an example where they were heavily inducing women to go into male roles. They were opening up these roles to making sure that these male roles were taken up by women, and men were doing female roles, right? And guess what? After a certain amount of time, they automatically went back to their original states, automatically, without having to push anything. And that's what happened over a period of time in Scandinavia. So it's quite interesting, you know, men are trying to manufacture things to happen which are innately in people. However, if people buy into it, they're picking and choosing what they want, because innately we have the way that we're designed. You can look at taking care of your home as slavery, right? You could see, a wife submits to her own husband. Oh, that's slavery. Oh, that's oppressive. Your own husband. That means you had the power to choose the guy and make him your husband. So it's, you know, it's like that. Anyway, yeah. So we got the final piece. Go ahead, Kat.
You have to know also what are your limitations. Because for example, maybe you are stingy with money. When we had the hot seat, Pastor Philippe, where's Pastor Philippe? You said that you were tight-fisted, stingy, right? For your wife to go to the pound shop, she had to put in a purchase request 1 week in advance. But thank God, he changed. But for example, you're single. You have to know. I have a temper problem. So you have to know why you have a temper problem. Because you need to fix it now. I'm stingy. You have to know. Is it stingy? They say. Tight-fisted. You have to know why you are like this. You have to fix that problem. I don't consider other people's opinion. My opinion is what matters. I talk over people. In a conversation with friends, I talk over other people. You have to know why you are like this. And you have to fix the problem. Because if imagine if I have to know the other person, I also have to know who? Myself. So this is how you fix a problem. The glory of kings is to search out the matter. You have to find out why am I like this? Why don't you know your husband? Why don't you know your wife? You who are dating, you have to study that person as if you're going on an exam. Amen. And I don't mean physically. Wait for that part when you get married. But you have to know everything else. You have to know the family the person comes from. You have to know how the person is with money. You have to know how the person is with money. You're starting to go on dates. See how the person is with money.
Notice things.
Yeah.
You know, but the thing is nowadays, when we go out somewhere, we notice our surroundings, right? We look and there's couples sitting, eating or whatever. They are both of them on their phone. They don't talk. So how can you get to know the person? A little thing brought by modernidade. Today my English is gone.
Modern
times. But you are on a date, even though you're married already. On a date. So what's up with you? What's going on? They don't do that.
What I know what makes Elena happy on a Saturday. You have to know what makes a person happy on specific days because they work longer that day or because they are off that day. This is important. After all, you're going to be with that person for the rest of your life. So if you are with someone, you're going to ask yourself, what makes that person happy on Monday? What makes that person happy when something happened at work that made them unhappy? Maybe when I keep asking, she doesn't like it. She needs space. He needs space. As curious as you are, you're going to learn to give that person space. And when she feels like it, she's going to speak about it. He's going to speak about it. Amen.
Beautiful. And that concludes today, guys. Absolutely amazing piece from Bishop today. We've got so many powerful nuggets there. And I think what I've got here is literally that care, understanding that being in a relationship isn't just to find someone for the sake of finding someone or just making sure that they're of God. But even once we got the ring on the finger, part of my journey is to know that person, to know what they like, what they don't like, to know how to balance the situations together, because everybody, like around this table, we all have different personalities, right? I mean, starting from myself, then we all have different behaviors, right? Will, you look like you're ready to fire. What's going on, bro?
Yeah, literally, yeah. I'm sorry, I'll just hold on to that one that I couldn't wait to say.
Yeah.
It was, I think the bishop and they both said about the people on dates. It's not something that I had experienced, but it's definitely something that even when I'm just out somewhere, I've seen it as well. So what dating culture is like. People will literally just be in each other's company, not actually interacting with each other, just like on their phones and stuff like that. And I kind of feel like I don't know why it just kind of dawned on me, but yeah, we need to get like some other people on the show, like in my age, who can like say like, well, people who date more frequently than me can actually say like what it's like dating in that just that young adult sort of period.
Maybe we should do some street interviews.
Yeah, because I feel like it just looks so different from what a lot of people are probably just used to. Because even me, you know, I feel like I've got more experience looking at dates on TV shows and movies than actually in real life, you know what I mean? So lots of things I reference, it's not even stuff that I experienced. Most of my dates just seem kind of normal. But I never really had stuff like that. But
you haven't met a psychopath yet.
Yeah, but I feel like there's so many people who in my age group where they couldn't relate to some of the things that get mentioned on the show, because quite literally they're not going to get the opportunity to date in that way, because the dating pool just doesn't have people that that think like that, you know what I mean? So you know, that's what I'm saying, like, you know, stuff like what particularly what Arthur said, where it's like, if I see someone who behaves a certain way when the bill comes, I'm going to cut off. I just feel like that's not even how some people my age would even think. Some people are just like, oh, you know, it's cool, you know, I get the opportunity to be this. Some people think it's cool to go to run to the bathroom, you know, when the bill comes and stuff like that, and that's normal. Some people think this stuff is normal, but I just feel like there's a lot of people that are missing out. A lot more people that need help in my age group.
I hear that.
On how to navigate dating.
All right, Sabrina, just wrap up.
Oh yeah, no, I was just gonna add on to what Will said. But I think it's because of the day-to-day, the life that we're living now, and everything is technology and everything is, you know, Instagram and
bare
TikTok.
distractions.
So the reason why the phone is there is because usually they're taking pictures, they're taking videos, they're talking about their date, then they're on Instagram posting or on whatever.
Instead of being in the moment.
Instead of being in the moment and enjoying that, being present basically. Everything is about, let me show to everyone else what I'm doing, kind of thing or whatever.
Very superficial.
Yeah. But I think overall, did you want to add?
No,
Sabrina,
just after you.
Oh, no, I was just going to round up kind of thing. And I was just going to say, like, what we just have to do basically is go back to the author of love.
Yeah.
And come to that realization that we don't know nothing, and stop making up our own ideas and not stop coming with our own truth.
Yeah.
Like, okay, this is my truth, this is what we should, as Bishop always says. And just, realize that we don't know anything, and we have to go back to basics, back to the beginning, and get into our roles and embrace the roles, the
Love
gift
that.
that God has given to us. And
Love that.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to your YouTube channel about this stuff. Go ahead, Will.
I was gonna say, I think a lot of our younger people's not just young adults, by the way, but I do think actually some people in their 20s or 30s, but maybe not so much in the UK, maybe in other countries, I think a lot of people's attitudes are warped even before the date starts.
Oh wow.
So Siri just mentioned something now about taking pictures of the date. I've seen stuff where people would take pictures of the food and then the slight bottom half of the person they're dating, but they don't want to show the person's face because that's someone that they've already kind of decided, I'm not taking that person seriously. I'm not actually going on a second date, and that's a really horrible thing to do to someone else. So I've heard stories from people said, oh, a mate who's like a mutual friend saw the person's story, or, you know, in some extreme cases, they even saw a caption how this person said, "Oh, I've got free food today," things like that. And then they've got a message their friend secret, like, "Yo, you know what? This girl that you're dating with, like, are you in this place right now? Like, you know what she's saying that you've clearly not seen on the social media because you're blocked off of story or something like that." And I feel like
this is crazy.
I feel like some people get done so dirty before the date's even begun, you know. And I feel for people like that.
Have you ever been done dirty?
I know, but I'm scared because I'm thinking that, oh, this could happen to me. I'm not a superhero. This could happen to me easily. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I love it.
Gauge.
I love what Sabrina said, man. We have to go back to the author of love, and I think things like love therapy is so important. It's so important because everyone's got their experiences, right? The environment, people they hang around with, telling them what they do, so they think it's normal, they think it's funny, right? But an environment like love therapy kind of filters people through as much as you can do, if you know what I mean. So people getting the right information, you can actually see how they react to that information. Do you know what I mean? Because it's sobering, everything that we learn in the love therapy. It's really, really sobering. Even for those who are already married in a relationship, those who are in a relationship, and those who are single, it's completely sobering to all the rhetoric that we hear in the outside world. Alto, you're ready to fire something to wrap up? Yeah.
No, it's just what you said, like I will do everything in my power not to get to that point, not to get done like that. Like I will do everything in my power. Like I will do everything right so that when that time comes, like it's correct.
It goes
right.
nicely, and you just never know. You just never know.
Yeah,
but as much as is in our power, isn't it?
I'm
And the
not
thing is,
perfect.
even that stance might make you behave a certain way in front of the right person.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? So it really is a psychological. We really have to faith in God.
That's why we need
We have
God.
to faith. We need God. We need
It's
Jesus. We need Jesus.
Like God first, and then everything else.
Holy Spirit.
It's the person's loss.
Dr. Shad.
If someone wants to mistreat you, at the end of the day, they've lost you. And if I'm
Yeah,
honest,
yeah.
and one of the things I can say is that I've met people that regret those decisions.
Yeah.
And so trust me, I don't think if you're in the right space, you make the right decisions, you do your best, you're always asking God to lead. You have nothing you don't even have to be watching out for those things, because that's just like this very bad character. But you shouldn't really even be in a group or you shouldn't even be finding yourself in a place where you're meeting those people.
All right, just to wrap up in the live, we had quite a few things happen in the live chat. So yeah, we're finishing up now, and let's go from Neo. So Neo says, "Let me take back my words. Maybe that day he'll having a little bit of possibilities of getting the wallet or something. I'll say I was thinking my heart is at the moment. Thinking he'll just be what in terms of him paying the bill." Where my heart is at the moment. Jeanette says, Will is telling the truth. It's true. Thank you for your perspective. Absolutely. Bassett Sana says, thinking with my heart. Oh, Father. Lorraine says, amen. Sabrina, it's all kicking off. And wow. And Jeanette, trust me, Will. The singles are speaking. All right. Look, we had, to the question we had today, we had Evelyn and Patience, but because it's after 10 o'clock, we can't share it now because of the time. But guys, thank you all for being with us this morning. You are absolutely amazing. I want to thank you all for being on the Table of Justice this morning. You guys are awesome. All right. And if you've got any questions or anything that you would love us to comment on, to look at, or TikTok shocks you want to share with us, please send it through to us on our Instagram channel, which is Official Liberty Radio. Official Liberty Radio is our Instagram channel where literally you can communicate with us after the show. We have our Breakfast Show WhatsApp line as well, which is on your screen right now. You should have it on speed dial. Literally, if any comments, anything you want us to cover on the different shows, we have different themes Monday to Thursday. So Monday's more music, Tuesday's Pursuit of Success. We're going to replay that on Friday, because it's everyone's requests. And we have Wednesday, Wellness Wednesday, and also Thursday, Relationship Power. So anything you want us to cover, anything you want us to share that would be you think add to the show, please send it through to us on the Breakfast Show WhatsApp line. Communicate with us also on Official Liberty Radio. Make sure you follow that Instagram channel. And other than that, guys, you've been absolutely awesome. Thank you for putting up with my
condition. Sorry.
Oh my God. You had to jump in there first, didn't you?
Sorry.
When you do it, you have to be like this. Condition.
You don't understand what you've done, Sabrina.
Sorry.
It's about to
If you
kick
don't
off
see her
now.
next week, we all know why.
All right. it's a thing now, isn't it? All right. Thank you so much, guys. And we just want to say more power to you. Have a robust Thursday. And definitely tune in to tomorrow where we're going to be replaying the Tuesday program with Mr. Effie about seven keys to be trusted by God with his success and remain. It's along those lines.
Yeah.
But it's going to be awesome. Seven keys. All right, guys. Anyway, it's been great. Ciao for now. Thanks, Kat. You're awesome. Yeah, there we go. Bye, everybody. Bye. Bye. You're awesome. Therapy of Love, 8 p.m. tonight. Come to the Rainbow. If not, check it online, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Local branch.
Liberty.
Yeah, maybe.
Local
No,
branch.
Local branch. Whatever planet you're on, or country or continent, on your local branch, just ask for the Love Therapy. You're going to love it. Ciao. Okay, guys, I really hope you enjoyed that show and you actually captured that breakfast show Vim. We laugh, we joke, we learn, and we equip ourselves for day-to-day life. If you want to see more, guess what? We're actually live with a live chat and a live video feed Monday to Fridays on libertyradio.co.uk from 8 a.m. in the morning. So don't miss a breakfast show beat. Like and subscribe if you haven't, and definitely connect online. And I'd like to see you there on the show. Type your name in, communicate on the morning. If you didn't already, we're also on Instagram. Check us out on Official Liberty Radio on Instagram. There's so much happening on that platform. Definitely go check it out. And I'd love to see you there. All right, have a good one.